One of my favorite things is before an interview, getting to hear teammates talk to each other because it's so much more than you guys get to see. How fun was it for you to see this guy have the night that he had in that fourth quarter?
Man, he's phenomenal. Y'all got to give Jay a hand, man. Y'all got to give it up for Jay. Man. Every single time his number's called, he shows up for us. He's been like this ever since I got in here. Since before I got here, he's been a consistent for us. Nights like tonight are no surprise, man. He puts the work in, puts the time in, and when we need him in the fourth or need him throughout the game, especially with Ev being out, he steps up every time. So big-time performance from J.A.
19 points he had in that fourth quarter. On top of that, this guy plays every single game. He's played in all 73 so far this season. How incredible is that?
Man, I'm happy that he keeps doing that, but I keep telling his behind to sit down at some point, give himself a break. But that's who he is. He wants to be out there for us, for the crowd, for the fans. He's Mr. Consistent. He's there for us every day, and nights like tonight show you who he is.
Jarrett Allen, you had, 2 points in that first half. Then you come out of halftime like a man unleashed. What kind of deal?
Like I told you, I just shoot floaters and dunks, so all my points come easy from these guys. And then just a couple of defensive stops just to get us going.
Can you tell how much this fan base, how much this crowd appreciates and loves you?
Absolutely. It's after the game and they're still cheering. They're still here. We appreciate you guys so much for the love you support.
You also owe this guy some props because he was a huge facilitator out there tonight. A career-high 14 assists for him. How does he just give the game whatever it needs?
All right, he's a phenomenal scorer, but he's a phenomenal passer as well. I feel like he dished to everybody that was open when it was time. You just got to get him 2 more rebounds for the triple-double.
No triple-double for you tonight, but coming in your future, you did have the career high in assists. When you take what the game gives you like that facilitating, what's kind of going through your mind?
Just make the right read. I think that's the biggest thing when I came out here tonight. I hear y'all. I don't know what y'all. I hear y'all. Just taking what the game gives. They tried to stop me, continuously get into the basket, so make the right plays, trust my teammates like I have been all year. And, it helps when these guys continue making shots like they always do. So they make me look good, and I appreciate it.
Jarrett, we talked before this game about just how memorable of a season this has already been. Obviously plenty to go, but the fans didn't get to hear that. What makes this season so memorable already?
Just how special the whole group is. The players, coaches, team, crowd, city, all of it comes together into something special.
Congrats on the win, you two.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you, Kaylee.
Listen, I have the stats here. That's all.
Yeah, this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
14, definitely. Should have had. I think I got 20 potential, man. It's all right. We'll get it.
He's looking at the 8 rebounds that he wants.
I only got 8 because I started actually boxing out, so I let everybody else get the boards. You know what I'm saying? So that was why. Somebody, you were talking there, right? Did you? Oh yeah.
How difficult of a spot is this coming off of a long West Coast trip? You guys have played a lot of games in a short amount of time. Just how tough of a turnaround is this game?
Well, it's definitely tough. I shouldn't say we. They landed at 6 a.m. When you do that, you know what I mean? And I kind of knew that going, so kind of turning my energy up, trying to be that spark. Because it's tough coming in 6 a.m., kind of turn around, get right to a game against a team like this who pushes the pace. They're playing really well. They got a lot of, obviously, Chris Paul, the head of the snake, but they got a lot of guys who are really, playing at a high level. So this is definitely tough. But we found a way to execute, found a way to get energy as a group, and that's all that matters.
What did you think of Jarrett the second half tonight?
Man, he always shows up. He always shows, especially when Ev's out. He knows this. It's his time. He kind of got the floor of the game. There we go. Now that's what you record on Snapchat, fam. That's how you do it. Not when we sitting there talking. But he was phenomenal. He had 19 points in the fourth, got to the free throw line 11 times, 16 boards, getting stops, getting block shots. He's always been consistent for us, and nights like this really show who he is.
Kenyon talked a lot about how this is part of the season where you're seeing how many options you guys have, and the rotations get smaller in the playoffs and it gets hard. When it comes to this team, we've learned how selfless you guys are. How does that help you and help Kenny decide when you have to go a certain way?
It just allows, we've really shown that we have trust in everybody. I think that's the biggest thing. And, there's always going to be highs and lows, positives, negatives. Highs and lows, positive and negatives. And I think being able to show over a consistent basis that it can be anybody 1 through 18 That's just a testament to our group when we've put in, obviously with Ev and Ty being out, guys be ready to step up, play more minutes. Like you can. That was outrageous. That was outrageous. That was crazy. That was crazy.
We can move on to the next question.
No, it's just, we have a lot of depth. We believe in each other, man, and that's the biggest thing.
Yo, Isaac's one of those guys that had a great first stint tonight, but didn't get to play as much as he might have wanted to in the fourth quarter because you guys are so deep. One, talk about Isaac in the first half and how he was able to spark off the bench, but also what it says about you guys that are able to play so many different players.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a guy like that, and understanding that it's going to be ups and flows, there's going to be times you're there, and that's like the biggest thing is we trust each other, not really hanging our heads, as a group, understanding like, look, it may not be your time, it may be your time. You may be playing well, but like then somebody else comes in and continues it. That's part of what's going to take, for us to win at a high level. The buy-in from the group, and you can definitely, find ways to be selfish, but we're not that as a team. I think we're and it shows. Like a night like tonight, Isaac's playing his behind off, but it doesn't finish, and then comes in and does his job. So it's a group effort. It's a group mentality. To be able to sacrifice for the next guy, and you'll see that throughout the season.
Kind of off of that. I mean, when you're working through getting your shot to fall in the last stretch of games, do you make the concerted effort of thinking about the other ways that you're going to be able to help on the court?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I wasn't even doing that. I felt like those 4 games when I said what I said was just out there. People make the joke like getting cardio. Like I wasn't doing anything to impact the game. I've said this always. It's not just going to be a scorer. I'm not always just going to go out there and have 30, 40, whatever it is. Like, how do you impact winning? And that was really my sentiments behind my comments because I wasn't impacting winning basketball. I wasn't doing anything. And when your leader's not doing that, that's what happens. So for me, obviously coming back and just being able to be like, all right, just impact winning, whatever it is. And tonight, it was 25-14, and maybe 10-10-10, and maybe like whatever it comes to, maybe guarding, whatever it is, like that's my job. And so yeah, that's just my mindset.
Can you reference LeBron with some of the passes you were making tonight, and how sometimes, if a defense shifts an inch, LeBron will throw the bullet right then. How has the way you see the floor evolved over the course of your career?
I really think it's the simple ones. I think I've always been, able to make like the cross-court ones, like the one I had in Utah. I've done that 1,000 times. You guys see me jump out of bounds. Those are the ones that really catch the eye. But the ones that I'm happy about, and take me to the next level, in my opinion, are the drive middle. They help and kick it right to the corner. A simple read, just to pass ahead. Just getting off the ball. That's when you become a better playmaker. I think that's what really takes you, because those are. It's not flashy, it's boring, but it's the right play. And the challenge is, can you make the right play over and over again? You're not always going to. It's the balance between being a scorer and a passer. You're going to sometimes take those tougher shots, but, in order to become the playmaker that I've tried to grow and become, is being able to make the simple ones, not always the home run passes. The home run passes will be there, different angles and whatnot, but, being able to make the simple ones, like, I think Sam missed it, but I threw a bounce pass, like under Harrison Barnes' hand or whatever. Maybe it was Dean. Like, those are the plays consistently that'll make us tough.
And he also referenced he's pretty against the replay reviews, and it's a flow issue, it's a rhythm issue, it's for the fans, it's an action issue. How big of a replay problem do we have here?
I'm kind of used to it at this point. I think the one on Dre was tough because he had already landed and the guy jumped forward. I do wish there was not as many there were tonight. You know what I mean? I think it kind of did stop the game, and sometimes it can kind of allow a team to get back into it or kind of kill our rhythm. But at this point, I'm just used to it. You know what I mean? I really don't have a preference. I mean, if it was up, because sometimes it's me getting that call. You know what I mean? So like I've been different about it for sure.
I think in one of those first huddles that you guys had, Max said something to the effect of like, "Hey, we got 10 games left. We got to play like we are. You know what I'm talking about? We got to play like we're the team that we want to be." Like,
You heard that? That's impressive.
You know, time to time. He was mic'd up, so a little, yeah.
Gotcha,
okay.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me, right? He said the same thing to me, but keep going.
Okay. So, when you've got a guy like that, like how much does that mean you guys need?
That's leadership. And, when you have a guy like him who's consistently putting his body on the line, consistently trying to make the right play the right way, having that message for the group, it's huge, and it definitely it kind of propels the group and allows us to continue to take that step forward. And, it's not going to always be easy, but if we want to be the team we want to be, and we've shown it throughout the year, but now is the time. We got 10 games left, got to continue to take those steps. And, we've done it. We've kind of got our rhythm back a little bit. Now we can't just be satisfied that we've won 3 or 2 in a row, 3 in a row. We got to continue to handle business tomorrow. We got the Clippers coming up, you know what I mean? Excuse me. So it's gonna be tough.
Last question.
4-minute stretch where you were out in the fourth. Javonte comes in, gives you a big three, gets the tap back. Because those are the things that kind of can get glossed over. Is that kind of what you guys envision, Javonte, the role playing for him, and that could happen in the playoffs where you need a spark like that?
Exactly. When his number's called, he's been like that his whole career. Him and I got close when he was in Boston. He's always been a guy that can guard when needed. He's athletic, make the right plays, the little things. Whether it's on the glass, and then when he's open, knock down a three. And that's what you're seeing, throughout his time with us. And definitely during the series, you throw him out there and he's ready to go. He's always locked in when his number's called. So definitely a blessing to have him for sure.
Well, since you mentioned the mic, one of the questions that I had just asked Donovan was, to start this game pretty early on, you said something to the effect of, we got 10 games left, guys. Like we got to play the team that we need to be. It was a great soundbite.
Never heard that.
I know, and I wouldn't have said it if it didn't make air, but it was on air.
Oh, really?
That's the only reason why I would have said it to you. No, it was great. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
In those types of moments, like why is that important?
You got to be playing your best basketball going in the playoffs. You don't just want to wake up when it's time to wake up. So we need to start figuring out what it is that we need to do to play our best basketball and be our best selves going into April and May. And, we have, 9 games now to figure it out. And I think everybody here knows that and got that message. And we're going to try our best to figure that out for these last 9 games.
When J.A. halftime, when does he have 2 points and he comes out like a man unleashed in the second half? 19 fourth quarter points, plus he just played in his 73rd straight game. Like, how crazy is that?
He's still on West Coast time, so you just need to wake up a little bit. His day was a little messed up. If it's going to bother anybody, it's J.A. So, he's unbelievable. What he does for us night in, night out, every single night. And like you said, he doesn't miss games. So, for him to do that, for him to give us that spark and play with that edge, it definitely helped us win the game.
When you see Donovan in facilitator mode, career high 14 assists like that, what do you think?
Pass me the ball.
He did.
I know. Went well tonight.
He got the message.
Kenny talked about how you guys, it's a hard decision because you guys have such great depth, and it's hard to get a feel on who's going to close games and these kind of stretches. What does it say about this team that you guys are so selfless to be able to, doesn't matter who's having a great game, doesn't matter what's going on in the game itself, Kenny can pick and choose the players he thinks needs to be out there, and everybody's okay with it.
Yeah, we all believe in each other. I've been saying it all year. We all enjoy each other's successes. We all want each other to win and do great things. So when you have a locker room like that, good things can happen. So we need to keep that spirit, keep that edge, and know that everybody in here is more than capable enough to help us get a win in any single way.
Isaac's had that kind of night tonight in his first stint. He got out and was a jolt off the bench. Points, rebounds, defense.
He did that last game, too. Mm-hmm. Where were we just at?
Portland,
yeah. He was awesome in that game. Ice does what Ice does. He makes energy plays. He guards people to the best of his ability and takes them out and gets out, runs in transition. Ice is a hell of a player for us, and we're lucky to have him.
There are a lot of ways to describe this team, but unselfish would probably be at the top of the list. And a lot of times in sports, that's a rarity, especially for an entire team. I don't know if hard is the word, but just, how unique is that to have a locker room full of unselfish guys?
It starts with your best players. It starts with your superstars. Evan, Don, DG, J.A., they're the most selfless people in the room. So if those guys are acting like that, nobody else in the room has any respect to act a different way. So they set the tone, they set the standard, and it just goes to show you that they're phenomenal basketball players, but they're better humans and understand the bigger picture. And it's great for our team, and they've been doing it all year, and they'll continue to do it because that's just who they are.
Kind of hopping off of what he just said. Javonte came in for a 3 to 4 minute stretch in the
Huge.
fourth.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Will was
He
awesome.
had a back tap. He had the 3 that he hit.
Yeah.
Just having that kind of guy in the back pocket to go to, it feels like that could be something really important for the playoffs
Huge.
too.
No, he made big plays tonight. It's not easy to do. Not playing at all, get thrown in, you have no idea when. But he's an ultimate professional. I've known Lou since we were in Boston together my rookie year, so that's just what he does. He makes energy plays. He plays hard. He does the right things, and he helped us win that game for sure. Gave us a huge spark.
Four third quarter replay reviews of varying kinds. What does that do to rhythm, flow, etc. for you guys out there?
Nothing. We're all used to it by now.
Kenny was basically saying at the podium like he wants to get rid of all of it. How do you?
Kenny's going to be Kenny. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game now. You just got to get used to it, but it definitely slows the pace down and slows the momentum in one way or another. So, but it is what it is. I mean, there's really no else to put it. That's just part of the game now.
Following up a 10-day trip with a back-to-back and traveling at that, what's key to beating Detroit tomorrow?
Doing little things, rebounding 50-50 balls, loose balls, doing those things that help you win. They're a tough team. They play hard. They're physical, so got to be able to match that and play our best ball.
Speaking of the rebounds, just it seems like over the last few games you guys have had trouble keeping guys off the offensive glass. What's the key to kind of making sure you guys can secure those possessions?
Box out and catch the ball.
Jay, we know that you took 2 shots, 2 points in the entire first half, and then in the second half you came out and had 19 points in the fourth quarter alone. You were perfect 6 of 6 from the field. Was it you were getting the ball more in the fourth quarter? What was that going on?
Honestly, that's just how the flow of the game goes sometimes. You can have 2, like it happened tonight, you can have 2 points in the first half and then just somehow just have a great game at the end. But I think it was they're hitting me in the pocket more, the guards, and we're just taking advantage of the matchup.
Do you see when Tristan goes out, because I know you've had fourth quarter minutes, some games not. But when you see Tristan goes out, he gets ejected. Does that jolt you a little bit more to be like, it's me and Dean that are 5 options right now with Evan out?
A little bit, because TT's our fire. He's our guy that gets everybody going, and he's out there playing as hard as he can. He got ejected. Whatever, if you agree with that or not, but it just shows that he's going out there to fight every single night. So why can't we?
When a team like San Antonio plays as small as they did in the fourth quarter, where they really didn't play with the center, do you personally use that as motivation, view it as a sign of disrespect at that point?
Not a sign of disrespect. I have a lot of respect for San Antonio's offense and defense and just how they run their organization. I just take it as something to take advantage of, that they're not going to be able to rebound the ball as well. Post-up matchups are going to be in my favor, so personally, just take advantage of it.
And then the last couple games, I believe you haven't had your hand wrapped anymore. Does that still bother you at all, or are you good to go?
No, I'm good to go. It's feeling better every single game. It hurts every now and then, but I feel like the tape is a deterrent at that point.
When you're having production like you are, is there a moment on the court where you realize, like, okay, they're feeding me more? Like, you're cognizant of the fact that you're kind of starting to gain momentum?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I know it's a word, flow state, I know that's, if you believe in that or not, but you kind of just get into this rhythm where like, I'm going to run into every single pick and roll. I know that the guards are going to hit me in the post. You just kind of feel it just going your way.
How do 4 third quarter reviews affect that flow state?
I mean, it just happens. It's part of the game. And honestly, now that's slow for the NBA. I remember, 3 years ago, you used to stop every single possession to review. So I'm perfectly fine with that.
Should it be that way?
I don't think so. I think we should trust the refs to make the right call. I mean, 95% of their calls are right, so just trust them at the end of the day.
Jarrett, there are many adjectives to describe this team, but I would say unselfish has got to be right up there, and you might be the poster of that. When they need you to step up like tonight, you do. When they ask you to step back, you do it with a smile on your face. Just how tough is that, or how easy is that, for you when you can be a dominant player all the time?
It's fine with me. I just want things to go smoothly. I don't want there to be mishaps on this team, people that want more shots. Go ahead, have more shots. Just know, at the end of the day, I'm here when you need me. If you want me to go out and shoot 11 shots like I did tonight, I can do that. If you want me to shoot 5, I can do that as well. It's just people know that I'm consistent on the defensive end. I just try my hardest.
There's a 23 assists between Donovan and DG tonight, Jarrett. When you're out on the court, sometimes they make these passes that don't seem even possible. There's no way. You guys ever kind of sit back and admire and awe at some of the passes they're able to fit through tiny holes in windows?
Yeah, absolutely. Don is excellent at that. He's great at shoving the ball through wherever he can get to. And Darius, he's always throwing me lobs and everything. They're just excellent at what they do.
To go back on what Daryl was talking about, this entire team is very selfless. It doesn't matter who's hot, who's not. You guys have seen Kenny Atkinson throw out a lot of different rotations, especially in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You, as we've talked about, have gotten minutes, have not in the fourth quarter. What does it say about this team that everybody is trusting, everybody is ready to play their role, no matter whatever is going on in the game?
I really think that just credit to how we are off the court. I mean, you can be teammates on the court, it's a job at the end of the day. You have to be out there with them. But I think you really succeed when you're off the court relationship as well, and everybody meshes well together because you're willing to go out there and actually fight for the guy next to you instead of feeling like an obligation to.
Is that dinners? What does that off the court feel like that you guys get to do?
I mean, it's part of being together for 3-4 years, the continuity of this team. In the NBA, you don't really get that a lot, and this team is something special to be able to be together for as long as we are.
Does it also help that you guys were just on a 10-day road trip together?
Yeah, being forced together, you're definitely going to make some good memories.
So to follow up a 10-day trip, you then have back-to-back, travel back-to-back. So what do you think is going to be key against Detroit tomorrow?
I mean, I don't know, just play with the same energy we had tonight. I know it's not going to be tough, but we know after this we get a rest day. So just keep chugging along until you can get a rest day.